Hello again to all retro lovers. In this second episode of Worst Gaming Cards, we are going to take a look at Matrox's first two products targeted towards the gaming market. These are the Matrox Mystique, released in 1996, and the Matrox Mystique 220, which was released a year later in 1997. Both of these cards are usually recommended for use as 2D cards alongside a Voodoo 1 or a Voodoo 2 card. That doesn't sound really promising now, does it? But first, some background information. Matrox is a Canadian company based in Montreal and was founded in 1976. Their first product was a video adapter for mini-computers. They were soon contracted by the US Army and later Wall Street, which changed the focus of the company towards the high-end and professional markets. Throughout the 80s and early 90s, Matrox was creating various professional 2D multi-screen and video editing adapters based on third-party graphics chips. Because of the very high price of these cards, which cost thousands of dollars upon release, and the few surviving cards in public, there's not a whole lot of info on them online. The usage of third-party chips was abandoned as a strategy in 1993 with the release of Matrox's first in-house 64-bit high-end chipset, which was used for the Matrox Impression and Matrox Impression Pro video cards. Both the dual-chip Impression and triple-chip Impression Pro were expensive products targeting CAD users, with prices between $9.99 and $19.99 US. They were quickly replaced within the same year by the more integrated and cheaper as a result Ultima and Ultima Plus video cards, with prices reaching the $999 mark. The pin-compatible Impression Plus followed suit in 1994 with some basic 3D features including garage shading support and a decreased price of $898. Next up in 1995 was the Matrox Millennium with a then exotic up to 8 MB of faster WRAM, which stands for Window RAM Memory, at a maximum price of $948. And finally, in 1996, Matrox's first card with texturing support came to the market, the Matrox Mystique. It was limited to 4 MB of cheaper SG-RAM memory, with prices ending at $259. Cards could also be upgraded with a video recording and decoding module or a TV tuner module. Using an updated core from the Mystique and targeted towards business users, the Matrox Millennium 2 was released in the following year. Using the more expensive WRAM, prices hovered at $399 for the 8 MB version. In August 1997, the new updated version of the Mystique, dubbed the Mystique 220, was announced. It was basically the same chip with a higher clocked core and RAM DAC, allowing for higher resolutions and refresh rates. Matrox presented the Mystique 220 as a card with fast, high-quality 3D acceleration and advanced 2D features and performance. While 2D performance was great, the 3D acceleration certainly wasn't up to high-quality standards. The company demonstrated the card's performance against 6 other competitors, with benchmark results for 15 games uploaded on their website. But, by what appears to be a mistake, they forgot to include any tests using the 3DFX Voodoo graphics chipset. The time has come to fix this. Unfortunately, the original Mystique is not compatible with our recording device and is causing video stream dropouts. So, we'll be using the faster Mystique 220 for video footage with a core clocked at 66 MHz and 4 MB of SG-RAM at 99 MHz. The original Mystique was clocked at 50 MHz for the core and 75 for the memory. Results will be shown for both cards. The cards will be compared to a Diamond Monster 3D using the 3DFX Voodoo graphics chipset with 4 MB of memory clocked at 50 MHz. In games with texture bugs, the Voodoo 1 will be replaced by an STB Velocity 128 using the NVIDIA Riva 128 chip with 4 MB of memory clocked at 100 MHz. The Mystique cards have support for Direct3D and Matrox's own API called MSI, which stands for Matrox Simple Interface. MSI was unfortunately only supported in 12 games, so we'll be using direct 3D accelerated versions instead for all games tested. Like in the previous episode, we once again start with some synthetic benchmarks. Final Reality shows only 3 supported 3D features. That's even worse than the S3 Verge. Worst of all is the missing bilinear filtering support. The Mystique was one of the few cards not to support this basic feature. Bilinear filtering smooths pixel edges on textures and creates the typical, expected look of 3D accelerated games. Without it, games tend to look software rendered. Unfortunately, sound is also affected with heavy slowdown and corruption. Image quality suffers the most in the city scene. "3D Mark 99 produces unbelievably high scores, even higher than the Voodoo 1 and Riva 128. The explanation for this is easy. The Mystique is cheating. In both tests, all textures are missing. Not a single one of them is rendered. Tomb Raider 2 runs with a good frame rate, but the non-filtered textures don't look that great. Forsaken has some serious issues with audio, and the explosion effects actually look better in software rendering. Carmageddon 2 runs with a very low frame rate and really cool looking 80s style smoke effects. There's no official wrapper for GLQuake, so we'll be using one made by Techland for their game called Crime Cities. Sadly, almost all textures are missing, but the game is playable in low resolutions, such as 320 to 240. Turok's visual quality suffers a lot because of missing texture filtering, but at least the game is relatively fast. Croc has audio issues and some not so great looking shadows. Incoming is fast, but loses all of its colorful explosion effect magic. Also, the helicopter rotor blades just disappeared. Half-Life is another victim of missing textures and buggy audio.
From level 3 dormitories to Sector C test labs and control facilities. If your intended destination is a high-security area beyond Sector C in Area 9, and board a high-security train. If you have not yet submitted your identity to the retinal clearance system, you must report to Black Mesa personnel for processing before you will be permitted into the high-security branch of the transit system.
Wipeout would be playable if it weren't for the garbled audio ruining it, along with the not-so-good-looking explosions. Expendable suffers a lot due to the missing bilinear filtering.
Alert. All personnel must evacuate.
Wake up, Private! You're in some serious shit. We're bugging out now. Level 3 doors are already locked, so get your ass to the comms room and I'll brief you from there.
Aliens vs Predator looks almost playable, despite the funny looking smoke. But good first impressions are ruined by the badly rendered flares. Finally, here comes the greatest challenge for every first-gen 3D card. Will it run Unreal? Well, it looks like the game is running in Direct 3D mode, but it's successfully decelerated and doesn't look like its developers intended it to for sure. Playing the game using the good-looking software mode is a better idea here, with playable FPS thanks to our strong Pentium 3 CPU. But then again, isn't that the case with pretty much all of the games? Before we move on to the conclusion, we have to warn you about one important driver feature named bus mastering. Both Mystique models support this, and it does increase the FPS. This was so important that Matrox integrated a driver check that will waste your time on every Windows boot until you decide to enable it. This can be done in the Advanced menu under the Settings tab. Sadly, this feature not only increases FPS, but instability as well, and on our testing board every 3D application freezed immediately or after just a few seconds. Tests with another modern board, equipped with a VIA KT133A chipset, provided similar results. So, if your Mystique is mysteriously freezing in every game, you have to disable bus mastering, or keep looking for another more period-correct motherboard. Something along the lines of an i430TX or similar Socket 7 board. What can we say about the Mystique cards? They are some of the fastest first-gen 3D cards, but still not good enough to beat the mighty Voodoo 1. Old games are playable, and granted that they use few effects, they don't look that bad. Perhaps some people will love the unfiltered look which is achieved by the Mystique's lack of bilinear filtering. 2D image quality is great, so they are really great choices for use in combination with Voodoo 1 or Voodoo 2 cards. Unfortunately, the missing hardware features greatly degrade the look of more modern games, and some might produce audio issues as well. OpenGL is not supported, and Matrox's own MSI API was only supported in 12 titles. Bus mastering might improve performance, however this is not guaranteed to work with your setup and might require tinkering. We award the Mystique 3 stars out of 10, mostly thanks to its performance. After all, it's better to have a fast and ugly Mystique rather than a very slow and ugly Verge. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with another bad gaming card. You may now enjoy the demo from 3D Mark 99, or at least those few parts which the Mystique was able to render properly. There's also a video capture on a smaller window of the Voodoo 1 running the same demo for reference.